Hello everyone and welcome back. Dito sa video natin ngayon, ang task na gagawin ko is to prepare a business plan. And the process is very similar doon sa ginawa natin kahapon na pinakita ko sa inyo na nag-research ako on the health industry and I use the 11 principles, expert positioning principles, education, marketing principles that I shared with you in the videos before that. So, dito natin makikita na grabe ka-flexible yung 11 principles na whether you are writing an article, whether you are writing a book, whether you are preparing a business plan, whether you are creating marketing materials for any business, you can use those 11 na principles. So, yesterday, one of my clients suddenly approached me and said na he hired 2 people to prepare a business plan. Now, the first person had an MBA, a master's in business administration. I think that's what MBA means. And it did not work out. I guess they got overwhelmed by gaano kahirap mag-prepare ng business plan. And so they hired another person from the Philippines who also had a master's degree, MBA again, a master's in business administration, who said that he could do it and he also was not able to deliver. So 1 week after the deadline, the client decided to ask me, Oliver, do you know someone who can prepare a business plan? And they explained to me that the 2 people they hired previously could not deliver, they could not do it. They were not able to finish it. And practically there's nothing, there's no output. No, not even a little, ganun. So, mahirap talaga mag-prepare ng business plan, especially if wala kang background, if you don't understand the 11 expert positioning principles. Especially din kung wala kang yung basis ba na parang sa ibang organization kasi pwede ka lang mag-copy ng format, gayahin mo lang. But in this case, there is nothing you can pattern ito, nothing you can ito. So, what I did was, immediately after sinabi yun ng client, I started working on it, and around 1 to 2 hours later, I had an initial plan already. So, it was just a short 600 words plan, and I sent it to the client, and they were very, very happy. So, I've already worked on it yesterday and then today. So, meron ng 1,400 words. And it looks really, And for me, I'm quite happy with the result. And I'm sure the client too will be even more happy. Even happier than yesterday. And to give you a little background, the client also gave a book about writing business plans. The only problem is it is a 297-page book, and I don't have time to do that. Ganun ba? So what I did was I just skimmed the first part of the book, writing a business plan, and it's a really good book, based on the feedback, based on how well it's selling, and based on the reviews. It's a really good book, and based on the background din of the author. However, the challenge there is kung studihan mo pa ito in very in-depth detail, kailan matatapos yung business plan. So, what I did was, I just studied yung part na medyo nahirapan sila, which is the market demand. Kailangan kasi siya ng research na how big is the market that we are trying to penetrate, and what are the, asan yung mga customers natin. So, that's the one that I focus on kasi ito yung medyo mahirap na part. It really requires a lot of research. And the client is able to provide the other details. Yung details ng business nila, yung medyo alam nila yung competitors, pero siguro tutulong ako dito. Then yung strategy nila, they already have an idea. Ano yung strategy nila, then yung resources, they already have an idea kasi that's their business. So, they're the ones who know. And yung financials and forecast, yan yung mga forecast nila, yung sa finances, how much are they gonna earn, saan gagamitin yung mga expenses. So that's for them to provide. So the only thing that they really need help on, which is still pretty big, is the market demand. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna overwhelm myself by studying lahat itong steps in almost 300 pages. That's gonna take a long time. So I just immediately jumped in the same day, right after I got off the call. I'm like, okay, I'll do it now. And so the point there is, as long as you have the principles, yung experts positioning principles, yung education marketing principles, yung principles from Dan Kennedy, you can use those same principles into the business plan. Because what is a business plan? It is a plan to convince investors to invest in the company of the client. So you're actually selling the idea. You're not selling the product yet. You're selling the idea so that they will invest. So the sales principles, the sales copywriting principles will also apply. And that means when you talk as if you talk in simple words that a 5-year-old can understand. You provide a summary, the details. You also provide the recap at the end. Then you address the dual readership path, which means there are readers who are gonna skim and there are readers who are gonna read the very minute or the very small details. Yan. So as I'm doing this, I'm very happy doing it. I don't feel afraid because I know those principles, and that's why I'm encouraging you to also start using those 11 principles that I shared with you. Actually 12, because I don't think I included those sa video, yung dual readership path, but I just mentioned it in the recent videos. So I hope this will help, this video will help to get you or to give you an idea, what are the other things that I am doing for the client. And even though this is a very difficult level task comparative or relative doon sa ibang mga tasks na ginagawa natin, it's still, I hope it will still help na just to to give you a better idea of the difficult level work that we are doing. And don't be scared or don't be afraid na ganito yung tatrabahuin ninyo. Yeah, maybe when you are several years na in the online, you might get a client like this, and at least you will be ready by then. Meron ka ng konting background. So for the market demand, nasa page 43 siya, so we're just gonna scroll down dito sa page 43 ng book. And this was provided by the client. They wanted to follow the stuff here. And ito yung page 43. And what I did yesterday, I just read the first few pages. And of course, there were some things that were new to me. I did not understand them. But sige lang. Gani. Kung ano lang ang kaya, yun lang. It's better to take baby steps than try to do everything na perfect and then ending up na wala ka ring matapos kasi ginahintay mo na perfect lahat. So it's the output that you do, okay lang na draft pa siya, rough draft pa siya, hindi pa siya yung perfect talaga na output kasi i-rewrite pa naman to 3 times, at least 3 times. If we can rewrite this 10 times, if we have that time, then why not? So there's gonna be a lot of time later to improve and further improve again and again. So one of the things that I noticed here is this one. Your backer, yung investor, wants to know who the buyers are, how much they are buying, how much they are paying, why they are buying, what has been influencing them, how those influences may change, and how much they are likely to buy in the future. So again, ito yung mga questions na ginahanap natin dito sa market demand. Sino yung mga buyers, how much are they buying, how much are they paying, why they are buying, what has been influencing them, how those influences may change, and how much they are likely to buy in the future. So sa lahat ng nabasa ko dito sa first page, ito yung nag-stand out sa akin. Even though parang casually sinabi lang siya. And the reason was, once I know na ito pala yung ginahanap, that's it. it simplifies all the work. It's no longer a complicated business plan. It's now it's now about educating yung investors ano yung gaano kalaki yung oportunidad kung mag-invest sila. And scrolling down sa baba, ayan, how big is the market that your firm addresses? And then nagsalita siya dito about market crafting. Ayan. And market crafting is a bit more complicated kasi kailangan nag-exist na yung business mo. So, the client informed me na there are some cases na hindi na siya applicable. Why? Because bago yung business nila na ito. So, some of the steps here are not applicable. So, that takes a load off of the burden from me. And, yan, gaano kalaki, ano yung market share, ano yung growth sa market, ano yung market share change. So, let's go ahead. Ito yung parang output ng market crafting. Yeah, ito yung parang output niya. So, we're not gonna do this anymore, which will simplify our work. And then, there was an example here. There was an example, this one that you see here, of ano yung finished product. Ayan. So, the market for activity-based holidays has been growing steadily for 2 decades. Drivers of this growth have included increased personal disposable income, the high income elasticity of vacationing leading to the taking of multiple holidays a year. Then, the European market can be segmented. So, these are all very technical sounding terms. And, I think in my decision, I just made a decision as I read this na, isn't it better that if you're talking to the investors, you don't talk to them like, very academic way? You can still tell them the data, you can still tell them na lumalaki yung market, but, some of these investors never graduated in college. A lot of these investors hanggang high school lang ang natapos, but they are very good in business, and they are very good in investing. So there's no point to confusing them. So that's already a plus point, na I can see na I can do better than this by using the use simple words that a 5-year-old can understand. I can do better than this. Ganon. And okay naman ito. It's not that bad naman, but I just think we can do better by using the sales copywriting principle that use simple words that a 5-year-old can understand. And so the research process involved is typing in Google market trends, tapos i-type mo ano yung industry. So I look for market trends in children's books, market growth, children's books, and then I also looked for aside sa children's books is the education games for children, tsaka yung mga animation like Finding Nemo, Paddington, yung Bear, yung mga Disney na mga 3D animation, pati mga Pixar na 3D animation. And yung mga results, binasa ko yung iba, and then nagtanong-tanong ako, marami akong questions ba sa mind ko habang ginabasa ko. So I just fed those questions balik dito sa Google, and I ended up with a set of references dito sa baba. So again, I use the view, tapos split. I click the split here para yung writing ko nasa taas, and then yung references, I can easily update it dito sa baba. And although in this market demand, malaki ang chance na hindi masyado kailangan yung references later, I still wanted to put it here para mas madali i-review later. And so, just from the research in Google, these were the references from Publishers Weekly, from Forbes, from Huffington Post, from Barnes and Noble. And then sa gaming na industry, educational games, merong Ambient Insight, Serious Play Conference, Mintel, publishers.org until we have around 14 na mga until we have around 1/4 na mga references. So, it's very similar to the process that I did yesterday in the healthcare industry. So, I'll just go ahead and continue working on this while recording. So, you at least get to have a feel for what the work involved is. And so, yung isa sa mga na-research ko recently was from Statista. I did a search in Google and I arrived on this website, Statista. It's the statistics portal. So what I did was I captured a screenshot of the growth of the mobile game industry from 2015 to 2017 in billion US dollars. So from 1.9 billion in 2015, it grew to 2.1 billion to 2.2 billion. Ayan, so I took a screenshot of that and I added it here. And I'm just gonna write something. Let's see if as shown on the table below. So there is a growing demand for children's educational games and apps on mobile smartphones, iPhone, and iPad as shown on the table below. So ilagay natin sa next page and paliitin para mas madaling basahin. It grew from 1.9 billion to 2.1 billion to 2.2 billion in 2015 to 2.1 billion in 2016 to 2.2 billion in 2017. And then I'm going back up dito sa pinakataas to update the summary at the top kasi I think that would be good. From was it 1.9 billion to in 2015 to 2.1 billion in 2016 to 2.2 billion in 2017. And then notice how I put some subtitles or sub-headlines in bold for those who just want to skim. Skimmers, chances are babasahin lang nila itong summary, then babasahin nila yung mga naka-bold. They won't read everything else. They will just read a few here, a few there. Okay, skip. Sige lang silang skip. And this one is a table showing yung physical book sales versus digital book sales. Kasi yung ano ng client is they are selling children's books, yung mobile app on the Google Play Store, pati sa iPhone, iPad. And they're also selling yung animation, yung cartoons. Of course, we're gonna take the reference from Statista and we're gonna put there saan siya gikuha. And I might request the client to have the graphics designer gagawa ng bagong design para lang dito. na para atin talaga yung mga pictures. Kasi right now, I just took a screenshot from the report. So, that would be a good improvement. And the other thing, yung mga in red, yung hindi ko pa nagawa but I just thought of them, it would be good. I just thought that it would be good if we have a list of yung mga children's books na tsaka ilan yung sales. But I was having trouble finding that data in Google. That data maybe hindi siya available. So it's okay. And another thing that I wanted to research is yung mga children's TV series. Magkano yung franchise? How much is the franchise for Transformers Rescue Bots? And this one is a TV series na pinapakita namin sa anak namin na 5 years old. And ano siya, it's the Transformers yung nandun sa movie, pero nakafocus siya sa pag-rescue ng mga tao. So it's very friendly for kids. Wala siyang yung mga violent, hindi siya ganun. More on rescuing people siya. And let's do a bit of research in it. Fortunately, meron sa Wikipedia. And I also, since na research ko to kanina but hindi ko na note down, I also did research ano yung mga top apps na nandito sa Apple iOS. It would be good to put this as well doon sa listahan. So I will be putting this dito sa app na section. The top grossing apps in the Apple iOS store are shown on the table below. So, gagawa tayo ng table. Insert siguro. Insert table, then 2 columns. App name and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type this one by one. It might be faster if I copy paste, but we'll see. Medyo kadami din kung i-type ko to isa-isa. So put this in notepad, and then since merong mga words na balik-balik, what I'll do is I will do a Control H for replace, or you can go to edit, replace. So Control H or edit, replace, and we are gonna look for free. Tatanggalin natin replace with blanco. So look for free, then replace with blanco, then click replace all para linisin niya automatically lahat. And then itong in-app purchases na nandito, free pati in-app purchases, we're gonna remove that as well. So in-app purchases, hanapin niya lahat, then replace with blank. And we now get the cleaned up version na pwede kong i-copy paste. App name, ito yung creator. ABC Mouse. Okay, then let's add some more. Ito yung developed by. Let's add some more rows. Right click, i-highlight mo, then right click, insert rows below. Then we might just put the first 20. And since merong iOS, I will also decide to research yung sa Android. Ano yung mga top grossing games na nasa Android. And in case you're wondering, ano yung mga, how do I know what to add? It's totally up to you. Basta ang goal mo is to convince the clients, not the clients, but the investors of the clients na this is a good market to invest in. And practically, ang instruction lang talaga ng client yesterday was to gumawa ka ng business plan. Yun lang. Gumawa ka ng business plan, tingnan mo itong book, focus on market demand, that was it. Wala na silang other masyado na binigay. Kasi yung clients natin are very busy. Wala silang time na spoon feed tayo. Sila din, even though they can do this themselves, meron maya silang mga trabaho din. They are already working full time. So they prefer na people who can, yung independent, does not need a lot of supervision. Babayaan lang nila na magtrabaho tayo, ganon. And that's it. We've compiled the 20. And so the next step is, meron kayang of course, i-reference muna natin ha. So 16. Meron kayang data, top grossing children's apps on Android ba yan? Or Google Play? So a lot of these mga top grossers, mapansin nyo na it's free, but I've downloaded this, for example, ito for our kid, ABC Phonics. Pagdating mo doon, A, tapos parang iganon-ganon niya yung screen para maglabas yung picture, tapos sabihin niya ano yung word na yon. A is for apple, B is for bus, C is for cake. Pagdating ng D, hindi na siya libre. Kailangan mo nang bilihin. So, ito yung bakit nakalagay free is because you can try it for free. But the functionality is only limited. So, I'll do the same process and I'll add this just because it's useful information na there are mga very good sellers But the only problem is we don't know ilan yung nagbili. So I might do some research on that later, baka mahanap ko sa Google. Kung wala, then sige lang. So no need to be perfectionist, just do the best that you can do given what you can research, and then don't worry kung hindi perfect yung lahat ng information nandun talaga. Sige lang. Insert table, and we'll do the same. Top grossing education apps in the Google Play Store. Ito yung Android. So I'll make a note to myself. Note to self. Add the gross sales or how many people purchase. Kasi minsan itong mga app na ito nakalagay ilan yung nag-download, ilan din yung nag-purchase. But I'm not sure kung nandyan pa rin kasi minsan gina-change nila yung and how many downloaded. Okay. I'll highlight that in red para Babel. Might be faster kung i-copy ko lahat. And let's pick the top 20 and put that in Notepad and clean it up, remove free. And so start transferring. App name tsaka developed by sa taas. Then ABC phonics and tracing. Let's add more rows below. Yeah, so some of these wala silang free version kasi may bayad na agad. Ayan, 200 pesos. then one more. And of course we will take the reference from here. 16 and 17. I wonder kung makita natin yung data. Ayan o, merong 194,000 people ang nag-download with, meron siyang mga purchase doon sa loob. It's free, but if you want to upgrade, you can purchase more. So ilan yung nag-download sa kanya? 194,900. To the right, yan. So total downloads, initial price, it would be good to put there, just, you know, it's just a decision that I think will help. And then so merong in-app purchases. The initial price is free. Total downloads is 194,900. So you can imagine, you know, yung effort na just getting the data. Okay, kailangan mong isa-isahin. Ito, maganda tong ABC Phonics from Dave and Ava. Meron silang mga videos sa YouTube, mga nursery rhymes, mga nursery songs, magaganda. So, ano kaya tong 759? I think ang 759 pala are reviews. So, maganda sana kung malaman natin ilan yung nag-download. Ito pala ang nag-download, oh. 100,000 to 500,000. Okay, so gonna go back to the Babel. And oh, grabe, tingnan mo ang install. So 10 million to 50 million. Tanggalin natin yung formatting. Ang in-app purchases niya is 599 to, it would be good to convert this in dollars. So I wonder kung mag-log out ba ako, magiging dollars ang ipakita niya. or pounds pwede rin. Read more. So $12 to 83.4 per item. Yan. So, repeat the same steps. And let's refresh. And one more. Let's do one more before proceeding forward. Let's check kung free ba siya. I think it's also free. Okay, so you can imagine ano yung mga next steps na gagawin natin. So I won't be showing you those steps kasi balik-balik na siya. I'd rather proceed forward and maybe look at the Apple iOS din to see if nandyan ba yung data. So this is where yung mga references, they come in useful kasi pag malimutan natin saan kinuha yung data, at least pwede natin ma-backtrack. Yan. So let's check this out. Pupunta siguro tayo sa iOS Store. And isa-search natin itong mga title na yan. But I wonder kung mag-allow siya mag-search kung nandito tayo. ABC mouse. Anyway, so I'll just look for that data later. Anyway, I'll just look for that data later and hopefully put here ano yung I'll do something similar doon sa ginawa natin sa Google Play Store. Let's try this keyword, investing in children's apps. Ano yung trends? So it seems like meron tayong data from 2017, which is good, just from last year. And we also have one from Time Magazine, so that would be helpful. Wala masyado siyang information. Let's look at the Time Magazine. And this is more of yung sports, not really the ano. So how about itong kid-friendly app? Ay, naghang na yung PC ko. But let's continue looking. How about this? Okay. So that was helpful, although wala akong immediately magagamit. It's good knowledge, good stock knowledge that I may be able to use in another in other work in the future, but not for this business plan. Ito pala yung kita natin. So let's close those. Okay, so meron silang statistics dito that the highest reported smartphone ownership was found in the United Kingdom. But this is data from wala silang year. This is still data from 2011. So, my question is, meron bang mas recent na data? So, let's look for that. Smartphone ownership in UK. Because the client is gonna sell in the UK. So, we have news here from UK. And we also have one from Statista. Ito. Yan. So, 85% as of September 2017. So, smartphone ownership has grown to 85% as of 2017 in the UK. So that's around for 41 million people. Yeah, so let's do that as well. And of course, let's reference that. Let's look at the Statista. Unfortunately, hindi siya available. But let's see. Ayan. Medyo may discrepancy lang yung data nila, baka iba yung sources. So I'd like to see saan yung okay. According to a study involving 4,150. According to a study involving 4,150 UK consumers, the smartphone ownership has increased to as high as 85%. Other studies from Statista show 65%. Show growth from 34.3% smartphone penetration to 65.8% in 2011 to 65.8% in 2017. Then let's take the screenshot. And make sure to add where the data come from. where the data comes from, and put that here. So that's it. You can see the general process for how this market research was done for the business plan. And in summary, the steps that are involved is just the asking questions and being aware of ano yung questions na sinasagot natin, which is who are the buyers, how much are they already buying, how much are they paying, what has been influencing them, how may those influences change, and gaano kalaki yung market. Is it growing? So doon natin makikita na yung market is generally growing. Yan, yung demand mataas, and there's a lot of investment, there's a lot of revenue that's coming from these three markets of children's books, educational games and apps for kids, as well as yung mga children's animation. And just a note to myself, I might add something here since masyado siyang simple. Growing demand for children's animation. If I can find that important data, like, you know, gaano kabilis yung growth niya or gaano kalaki ang growth doon sa UK, then I would add that here in the summary at the top para mas madali siyang makita ng mga investors. And UK animation market growth. I found one but nalimutan ko aling tab since sobrang dami na ng tabs na nandito. Ayan. So meron siyang size of the animation industry in the UK. Yeah, so I'm just skimming. I'm just skimming the content. Wala masyado siyang makuha, but there's more detail here. And I think this is a paid na kailangan mo siyang bilihin. Grabe naman yung $6,000 just to buy this report. Siguro konti lang yung bibili kaya minamahalan nila. So let's see. And let's add this in the references. And let's look for UK. Or U.K. Wala. United Kingdom. Wala din. UK. Basahin na lang yun. So 254 billion siya in 2017. Then although hindi siya UK, at least we have a worldwide figure. Of course, we prioritize UK figures since sa UK yung initial focus, but since absent yung data, in 2017, we'll update the one here. Animation with 254 billion in the global animation industry. So hindi man nakalagay ilan yung sa children's. So let's search for yung mga children. Wala din. Kids. Hindi siya lumalabas. So, i-specify lang natin para hindi ma-confuse yung readers na itong 254 billion, yun yung buong global animation industry, hindi lang yung children's. In 2017. Okay, so that's it. We were able to grow the market research from 1,000 words to 2,000 words just today, and yun, I hope that you were able to learn a lot from watching how it's done, and yung process pala is it really involves a lot of research. Magbabasa, sometimes you read the details, sometimes you just skim and look for something for data that you can put here. So, i-cite lang natin na ito yung reference number 20. So, that's it. Thanks for watching this video and see you in the next